Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Sai Ram, everyone. Just to recollect where we were last Friday, we are still in chapter 2 of Ramakatha Rasavahini, where Swami is talking about the lineage of Sri Rama. Swami started with King Katwanga. Then Swami spoke about King Dilipa. And now Swami is talking about King Raghu. We discussed in detail about the way King Raghu ruled his kingdom, the various aspects of his rulership. I think we discussed quite a bit about the 4 techniques used by him to deal with wicked kings and so on. So that's where we are. We will just read the same slide which we discussed last week, and then we will go forward. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Please.
Emperor Raghu ruled the kingdom from that day in accordance with the directives given by the Pandits and with the twin objectives: the happiness of his subjects and the promotion of righteous living. He believed that these two are as vital as breath, and he spared no pains in pursuing these ideals and making his ministers too adhere to the path. Though young, he was rich in virtue. However tough a problem happened to be, he grasped it quickly and discovered the means of solving it. He made his subjects happy and contented. Wicked kings were taught severe lessons. By solving it, he made his subjects happy and contented. He won them over by peaceful approaches and clever diplomatic tactics, or by fielding a little army in order to win them over, or openly breaking with them and defeating them on the field of battle. He was engaged in activities that ensuring the welfare of the people and promoted the culture enshrined in the Vedas. All classes of people extolled his rule, irrespective of age, economic status, or attainments. They said he was proving himself superior to his father in physical prowess, courage, righteous conduct, and compassion. Everyone said that he brought lasting significance to the name he bore.
Okay, thank you very much, Uncle. So I think if anyone would like to discuss any of the aspects of this, what was read, which was actually read and discussed last week, you're welcome to share your thoughts or comments. If not, we will go forward. Okay, Saishan, let's go.
Raghu paid special attention to the care and comfort of the hermits engaged in asceticism in the forest. He saw to it that they were saved from harassment and himself supervised the arrangements for assuring them protection and encouragement. So he received their blessings and grace in ample measure. One day, the student hermit Kautsu, disciple of Varatantu, came to the court after finishing his studies. He prayed to the king to help him in securing the thanks offering which he had to submit to his preceptor. Raghu gave him the money that he wanted. Kautsu was happy that the gift he received was pure, collected from the people without causing them any distress, and paid by them gladly and gratefully, for Raghu did not collect even a paisa more than was absolutely needed, as he was ever afraid of the anger of God. The money was also handed over with great love and consideration, and so Kautsu was overwhelmed by joy and gratefulness. His heart was full, and he spoke lovingly to the king. May you be blessed soon with a son who will achieve worldwide fame. With this, he left the presence of the ruler.
Thank you very much, Uncle. So, Auntie, shall we read the Telugu?
Yeah. It is Raghu Maharaj Paripalana. From there, is it?
No, I see in that there's one sentence. I think we read it last time.
Yeah, yeah.
Aranyamuna tapasas charinchu. That's the last sentence in that.
Abala Gopamulu. Adane Samadana Beda Dandopayatul Rakshinchi Prajanukulam.
Much after that, Auntie. Just a couple of sentences after that.
Raghu Maharaju.
No, next sentence. Next.
Okay, let me read it.
Aranyamuna tapasasa charinchu.
Acha. Aranyamuna tapassa acharinchu munulaku sadhuvulaku tagina bhadratalu kaliginchuchu.
So, making sure that there is security and safety for all the rishis or the saints, sages who are doing their tapas in the forest, and all the sadhus.
వారికి తగిన వసతులను ప్రత్యేకముగా తానే చూచుకొనుచు,
having taken care of their welfare and their comforts personally himself.
ఋషుల ఆశీర్వాదములకు కృపకు పాత్రుడగుచుండెను.
He was blessed by the sages and saints and their compassion. He was the
వరతంతువను మహర్షికి కౌత్సుడను గుణవంతుడైన శిష్యుడు ఉండేవాడు.
For a rishi or sage by the name Varatantu, there was a student by the name Kautsu.
అతను విద్యాభ్యాసము పూర్తి అయిన తర్వాత గురుదక్షిణకై రఘువును ఆశ్రయించి,
so at the end of his education, for the sake of giving dakshina to his guru, he sought the help of Raghu.
అతని నుండి ధర్మరీతిగా పొందిన ధనమును,
from him the wealth which King Raghu had obtained according to Dharma,
గురుదక్షిణగా వరతంతువునకు చెల్లించి,
it was given to the Varatantu as Guru Dakshina by him.
రఘు మహారాజు తనకు ఎట్టి నీతి మార్గమును ధనమును అందించెనో విచారించి,
so having inquired in which rightful way the king Raghu had collected his and distributed the wealth,
ప్రజలకు బాధ కలుగక,
without causing any hurt or harm to the subjects,
కావలసిన దానికంటే ఒక్క కయసైనను అధికముగా ప్రజల నుండి ఆశించక,
taking from the subjects not even a single penny above what was really needed,
దైవ కటాక్షమునే ప్రధాన లక్ష్యం అందించుకొని,
having as the goal only the grace of God,
పాలన సాగించుచున్న రఘు మహారాజుపై,
the king Raghu who was ruling in that manner,
కౌత్సునకు అమిత వాత్సల్యము కలిగి,
the Kautsu, the disciple Kautsu, he had very lot of love for the king.
నిండు హృదయమున రాజా త్వరలో నీకు లోక ప్రఖ్యాతి నొందునట్టి సద్గుణవంతుడు కుమార రత్నము ప్రాప్తించుగాక అని ఆశీర్వదించును.
He was his heart was filled with love, and with those he blessed the king as, "O king, very soon may you be blessed with a son of a gem who will be well known throughout the world."
That's all.
Thank you. So, okay, thank you very much, Auntie.
Sai.
So you can imagine, I think there's another, there are quite a few as concepts which Swami has introduced as to how King Raghu was supporting even students and so on, and the way he was collecting taxes and so on. So I will stop here. Anyone who would like to discuss any of these points, please volunteer and share your thoughts, please. Sai Ram. Sai Ram, Ron, Obina.
Sai Ram, it is very interesting here for me that the line here is, say, "May you bless soon with son who will achieve worldwide fame." And it's told by Kautsu, who was a student hermit, how much power even a student has to say to the king and bless him. That's very, very astonishing for me. I would like if anyone wants to say anything about it also further. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Pina. Anyone would like to share any other thought or even discuss what Sister Bina has brought up as something which caught her eye?
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Auntie, please go.
Actually, Kautsu was not only a very disciplined student, he had completed his Vidyabhyasa, his education. Only then he was trying to get Guru Dakshina from somebody who can help him out, and he gave that money to the king. But that, I think by that time, even the Shishya, even the disciple had that kind of he had achieved something so that he could bless others also. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you. Anyone else would like
Brother, in addition to Sister Veena's thing, even to achieve worldwide fame, what is really he was referring is the fame that we are looking at in a worldly sense, or what is really he is blessing with. That's I just wanted to understand a little more on that. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. So, Sister Aruna would like to understand what is this Loka Prakyati?
Loka Prakyati.
Yes, Ranabina, yes.
We're sort of assuming here that the worldwide fame that Kautsu is referring to would be the same sort of fame that Raghu had himself earned just in the previous slide. That is what all the people were praising him for his physical prowess, for his bravery, for his right conduct, and for his compassion. Or something akin to that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Uncle.
In those days, people were so pure that whatever they said, they meant it and things happened, Just want to...
Thank you very much, Uncle. Anyone else would like to?
Sai Ram,
Sai Ram, Sai Satish.
I was just going to say there's a Subhashita which says that Adamaha dhanamichanti, dhanam manau cha madhyamaha, uttamaha manamichanti, mano hi mahatam dhanam, which translates as the people of who are at the lower end, they will aspire for wealth. For people who are of the middle stature, they will aspire for both wealth and fame. And people who are of the highest stature, they aspire for fame, for that is the greatest wealth. In that context, here when we talk about world-renowned fame, it is like Satkirti, which talks about not only the worldly prowess, but it transcends all those achievements that concern the world. It also goes into the realm of how the king is able to do yajnas, yagas, foster, like what was being described also, the hermits taking care of the hermitages, the sages, and all of that. And they would say that, like what we have read, basically the king being the heart and the subjects being the body. So it comes down to that fame. That is why ultimately even we say like Rama being born in Raghu dynasty, right? That was the fame of Raghu. And again, now he's getting the blessing that he will be blessed with a son again of that world-renowned fame, which again, it is of both this world and beyond. Because ultimately, if you are talking about Ramayana, and we are talking about right from Khatwanga, Dilipa to Raghu and all of this, if you are able to talk about them thousands and thousands of years later, it surely shows that their name has lasted because of the fame that came from the work that they did at that point in time. And that is why we are able to remember them even to this day. And that is where again and again, when the sages would bless, they would bless that is the way they lead their life, so they are remembered for what they have done even thousands of years later. So that is one thing. And to what Sister Bina had mentioned, I think when Kautsu blessed the king, of course, no doubt he has completed his education and he has reached a certain level where his blessing has that power to become the reality. But what also comes through from the initial Telugu is that he's like with a Nindi Hriday, like his heart is filled with that love and compassion. So when the heart is filled with that love and compassion, then verily that Hridaya becomes the whatever is said at that point in time literally becomes the word of God, because it is coming from that state of completeness or fullness, which will only bestow the total well-being or only the good to happen. So it is coming from that state. So when it comes from that, then it becomes the truth. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Thank you. Any other thoughts, please?
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Aunty.
Great attention was paid in those days to money, whether it was rightfully earned or by what means it came to them. That was very interesting to know that. And in those days, taxes were collected by the kings. Sometimes some kings were really very bad and cruel, and then they used to collect money in that way. But in Raghuamsha, nobody has so far done anything like that. And of course, here Raghu is not an exception. He had earned his money in an honest way. So Kautsu was very curious to know how he got that money, which was going to be Guru Dakshina. So much subtle importance, but subtle things are also taken into account. How money was earned. That also shows the greatness of the king. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie. So Auntie has touched upon a few other points also. That is, Kaustu actually inquired how the king was collecting. Before accepting the help, he also wanted to know how the king was collecting the money before even he asked for help. So that is also another point. So I will again ask anyone else would like to share any thoughts. If no one else, maybe I will comment on, I think first Beena's thing about blessing of Kautsu. I don't know whether you all heard the word which Swami has used in Telugu was Vatsalya. So the thing is, the Kaustu had a love of a mother who has the mother's love for a son. Vatsalya means a parent having a child, love towards a child. So you can even ask, how can Kautsu, who was a small kid, who had just completed his education, have the love of a parent? Mother, generally it's a mother's love, Vatsalya. So that also we can ask. So can only mothers have Vatsalya, or even a child can have Vatsalya? So I think that, as Sai Satish nicely mentioned, whenever somebody has love and they bless somebody, that love itself has the power to do it. I think that also comes through. It is not the person, the age, stature, the quality or anything. Just the fact that he was pronouncing those words with the love of a mother, that itself gives power to any word uttered by anyone in this world. It can be even a child. So that also I thought was very moving, that Swami has used the word Vatsalya. And to the point of, I thought that's the thing. And Sister Aruna's question about Prakhyati. What is this fame? See, fame, Prakhyati, kya, the word kya means talking about something. That means people were talking. If people talk about someone, that is Prakhyati. So as Sai Satish also mentioned, people speak about somebody's good deeds. So when that good deed is actually nothing but an inspiration. What Rama did, we have never seen Rama. We have only heard Rama's story, and Rama's actions are still spoken of. So I think that is Prakhyati. I don't, sometimes we confuse with today's fame, people of the, film in cinema or sports, we consider them as fame. Actually, that's not fame. Okay, but the Prakhyati or Kirti are things which people speak or people are inspired to talk about so that they can emulate. That is Prakhyati. So I think when he says Prakhyati means just the way Raghu himself was known to everyone as a great king, a good king. And that will make everyone else also follow that example. That type of name, a good name, is Prakhyati. And so the disciple is blessing not because Raghu will be proud that I have a very famous son. No. He was blessed because Kautsu wants such kings to be, his son also to be like the father, who also will continue the work which the father was doing, from that sense, so that he will do things which will be spoken of by people as something great. And I think that's Prakhyati. I will stop here. Here's Aisen. Just go ahead.
Sorry, Uncle. I just have two questions. So going back to the first point you made, so when it said that it's Kautsu, is it Kautsu?
Yes.
When it said that he was filled with, like his heart was filled with love, is that love supposed to be, like, does it also mean like divine essence? Is that what it's supposed to be? Like is it that pure love, like purity, invokes like divinity in you? Is that what it is?
Maybe I'll go first before anyone else. See, the mother's love is very pure. That's why Swami has used the word Vatsalya. The mother does not even expect anything in return. That love is Vatsalya. So, which is, there's certain divine nature. See, there is a very, Swami has one Padyam, he will say, the greatest wealth of Bharat is Matrubhava. You know, the motherliness is the greatest wealth of Bharat. You know, so that is the purest human love, which is the mother's love for a child. I think that's the way I understand, but I will open it for others to share their thoughts as well, sir.
I also have one other question, Uncle. Sorry.
Wait.
Yes.
No, you go ahead. I'm just joking.
So I think Maniati talked about Kautsu's approach with money and how he asked. I feel like there's also some significance in the way in which King Raghu also dealt with the money. If you can just elaborate more on that.
Yeah, that's very nice point. I think, it's also, I think we can discuss that. Anyone, I will first ask anyone else to share. What can we learn from this? Sai Ram, Sanjay, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, actually, as Auntie said and you said, and I can raise this point, I was thinking of the same exact thing. It's so much parallel here between here and Swami's guidance and instructions for seva activities in the organization. In the sense, for a noble and sacred purpose, Guru Dakshina, how were the funds raised? And it's almost like the sanctity of the activity is determined by the way in which the resources are gathered, the funds are raised.
Sanjay, this line is not that clear. I don't know whether it's for me or for the others as well.
I think it's for all of us, I believe. Okay. I know that he's saying some great things, but we are unable to catch it.
Sai Ram, Sanjay, I don't know whether can you... Right. Go ahead. No, it's still breaking.
That's okay. I'll disconnect and I'll join back.
Okay, thank you. I think Sanjay was alluding to the fact that when Swami talks about us doing seva also, how we have money and how we collect and how we distribute, that's also of equal importance. That's what I thought I gleaned from what Sanjay was telling. But Sanjay, whenever you are able to, please go. Yes, Sister Ananthi, you have something. Yes, Sanjay? We can't hear you.
Maybe the meanwhile, I would like to...
Yes, please.
I also, I really liked the way they have put it here. These, in our, these days, we always think, in the modern world, we do the budgeting and the taxing, and in a wise way. But when I read this, this passage, I was stunned by way back. In ancient time, they have done the budgeting, very wisely, and also they have taken some sort of dharmic way how to tax, without even a penny or paisa or the dollar more than what they really required for the operation of the country. And they also, these days, even some of the products we buy, they put that, this maybe this item or food item was made up of, without having the child labor, or without the causing anyone with any distress or those things. But Swami, way back in 60s or 70s, he has brought all these points, in this, the gem paragraph. And I thought, I was stunned by, the how Swami, forecasted well ahead, what is going to happen in future. And I really enjoyed, this paragraph. I just wanted to bring it in. Those days we mistakenly think that we are in the golden age and we know everything. The absolutely it's a wrong mindset. Way back they have done more than what we know these days with all these tech and everything. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sister, it's very nice to hear that, someone who is knowledgeable about revenue, Canada, speaking about the policies of taxation. Yes, that's true. In ancient time, I think some of these have been discussed even in ancient texts by various people about taxation. Chanakya and all have spoken about it. Yes, here Swami is talking about Rama's time, how it was practiced. Such great approach. Very nice. Yes, Sai Satish, please.
Ramana, I was just going to say, those days it was all the more challenging because it was barter system that they had. They didn't have like a currency running and so on. So in terms of implementing taxation and all of that would have been all the more challenging compared to what we have today, when we have currency for trading and all of that part. So it just goes to show how much of discipline and integrity would have been involved in that whole process to ensure that not even one extra penny was collected. Given that it was all the more challenging, it goes down to the level of thinking that would have gone, or the planning that would have gone, and then subsequently the implementation aspect. Because at the end, based on the varnas that would have been running in parallel, the taxation, people would have been dealing with goods of that nature, the taxation to follow. So it just shows how complex it would have been, and yet it has gone through the norms of Dharma. So just wanted to reiterate that, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
Sai Ram,
Yes, Sai Ram Shankar.
added to what being discussed, it is commendable that Kautsu wanted the pure gift from the king, which does not harm, and because he has to offer it to a guru, so he was very careful in selecting the offering from the king, not the any kind of money or any kind of what you call offering gifts, but it has to be pure to go back to the guru. So that was commendable, actually.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you. Yes, Sanjay. Hopefully we have.
Yeah, am I any better?
Very good.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I don't know how much came through, but what
No,
I
you
was.
can repeat. You can repeat the whole thing.
Thank you. No, based, I think Mani Auntie said this, and you also mentioned this, and I think Saishan brought out the same point in this one section, and I was noticing the what Swami says about how he was paying attention to the way in which the funds were raised, and I was looking at the parallel. It's almost like the instruction Swami has given for the Seva in the Sathya organization. for for a noble activity like or a noble purpose as Guru Dakshina, how the funds, how do you, so the nobility of the purpose, for it to remain as it is, the way in which the resources are gathered or funds are collected also have to be paid attention to. And the sanctity of an activity is dependent on the nobility with which the resources are gathered. And I thought that was a good parallel between, I think Swami has given a lot of instruction in this regard, how seva has to be decided and how people should come together to do seva. Not a penny more, not a penny less has to be collected, and people should not be feel um, should not feel that they were deprived of something after contributing towards a certain cause. And I thought that was so beautifully brought out in this part, in this section. The other point I thought was he did not take the money from the king and go away. He gave something back in return. And what did he give in return? He gave something in return which is worthy of the person who is giving to. So that was another interesting insight. It's almost like, you leave the balance sheet try to leave the balance sheet back at zero. You receive something from the king, but he did not just take the money and leave. He gave something back. Now, what did he give? Something that's worthy. That's something the king wants. I thought that was very. It's such a strong lesson in there for us.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Sanjay. So there's so much for us to do in our own life, practice. But it means whatever we give, also we should, pay attention to. Whatever we may collect or earn, also we should pay attention to. Not a penny more, not a penny less. Type of thing. Yes, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, brother. So as Swami said, and as brother Sanjay said, Swami emphasized on moral and ethical way of making the money and, giving it whatever you have access, etc. But, in these days, there are people who earn money immorally and unethically, but they still do some charity. How would be their benefits or blessings if they still do charity from the money that they earned unethically? What would be your comment about that, brother?
Very good, sister. Very good question. So this is an academic consideration, but even for us also it matters, I guess. If we think we have earned something which may be not so morally, and if we do service with that, if we give that away, what happens with that? That's a very nice question. Because the reality is, people may say, no, we don't do anything immoral. We get our, if we are salaried, we'll think we get a salary for the work we do. But then, do we really, can we value what we give to the society and what we take as pay? Also, I think something for us to look at. Are we taking more than what we have contributed to as Sanjay said, the disciple, he also wanted to give something back to the king. So unless we deserve every penny which we earn, it cannot be considered moral, even though, it's legal and, that's what we have cut. That was a contractual agreement with the employer and so on. So I think that's something which we also have to look at. And if we do, and I think others we cannot comment on, but if we think we have earned more, if we do service with that, can that be considered good? Can any people accept that? I don't know, Sister Vani, I've sort of changed the question slightly, but I hope that. because it's so that we all can go away. Yes, Aisha.
I don't know if this is correct, Uncle, but like my thought is, I think like in the Telugu translation, I think it said taking what from subjects, not even a paisa above what was needing, having the goal only as the grace of God. And I guess if we take the money that comes in as the grace of God, if we give that money back in only having the grace of God as the goal, I feel like it's okay. But
Pardon?
as in like if the goal is just the grace of God, and you're getting collect the money that comes to you, you see as it's just the grace of God, and you give that back to the society or to like this disciple, for example, and you only give it with the thought of grace, having the grace of God, then it is good.
Very nice, very nice. So charity, as Saishan said, when charity we give, if our goal is only the grace of God, not name or anything like that, or some popularity or anything like that. Swami says the left hand should not know what the right hand does, type of thing. As offering to God, of course, it will be nice. Okay, that's what I think you said. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please? So I think we can also discuss, should we take from the world a penny more than what we really need? I think that's also, that another question. When we say immoral, I think that question also comes into play. Can we take any money which is more than what we need? Number one. Number two, I think Saishan has already said what comes, we can also give. I will stop there. Anyone else?
Sorry, Uncle, just another question as well, to add on to those two that you asked. In this case, like King Raghu, because of the way he was brought up and how he practiced Dharma, that idea of not even collecting more than what is needed was something he had, I guess, gained through or obtained through the practice of Dharma. But I guess how can we, because I feel like in today's day and age, like it's so easy to like not feel like you have enough. And then now you're just going in the cycle of thinking this way, and then you kind of never get to that point.
Yeah. So in that point, in that context, I would just like to read the Telugu once again. Swami says, "Okka kasainanu adhikamuga prajala nundi asinchaka."
So we should not desire, is it?
Exactly. He did not even desire even a single penny more than what was needed. So the word ashi is, the asha is given. That means we should not desire. Okay, that's what he did. So that means even for himself, after all, the king also thrives only on the tax. That's his, from that only his salary also comes. But he did not desire even for a penny more.
How is that achieved, Uncle? Not having the desire for that.
Yes, Sai Ram, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, I was just trying to think through on Sister Vani's question. There's this story of this mongoose that had half of its body that was gold, and I think it was, and you can correct me, and I think it is Dharmaraja's, yeah.
Dharmaraja was doing his Rajasuya Yaga.
the Rajasuya Yaga, and the mongoose is coming and trying to roll on the floor there. And so they asked this mongoose that you have, what are you trying to do? Because they say half of its body is gold, the other half is plain as such. And then it tells the story about this Brahmin family where I think it was a famine time and there was no food to eat. There's a person who comes to this Brahmin family asking for food at that point in time, and they by themselves have very, very little food. So first, the Brahmin gives away his share of food to that guest who has come asking for alms. And seeing that the person is still not satisfied, the wife also gives away her share. And then their child also gives away their share. And what happens is the mongoose says that at that point in time, a few of these rice grains fall on the floor, and I rolled on that, and half of my body became gold because that sacrifice that was done was so pure in its nature that anybody who came in touch with that also became gold. And the mongoose is trying to see if whether it could make the rest of its body also into gold, and it was really testing out the floor, I think, during, like what auntie was saying, during the Rajasuya Yajna performed by Dharmaraja. And I don't think it really got its whole body into gold, which means the sacrifice, the quality of the sacrifice done by that Brahmin family was so highest level of selflessness that it it had that impact of anybody who came in touch with it. And I'm just trying to extrapolate this. We talk about patra shuddhi, paka shuddhi, padartha shuddhi, all of these that goes into cooking. One is in terms of the vessels or utensils used for cooking. One is in terms of the ingredients used for cooking. Another is in terms of the process of cooking. And of course, people who are cooking, all of that. We know the story about the sage who went and ate in a house and took away a cup, and then he realized, ultimately going back, that the person who was cooking that in that place was a thief or something of that kind, and that's where they had. So we talk about it in terms of how this happens in terms of cooking. So if we have to take anything, whether it is seva, any activity that we do, again it will come to the same thing of patra shuddhi, paka shuddhi, padartha shuddhi. In this case, it will become, the patra can literally become the person who is doing the seva. The padartha can be the means by which they are getting all of that thing to do the seva. So if whatever we have earned, that which has come by pure legal means and has that stamp of authenticity to that, using all of that, that is where I think in terms of the impact of the seva or that activity touching the recipient or touching the doer themselves or reaching Swami becomes complete only with that kind of a quality. Because in anywhere where one of this has a limitation, then having it earned through illegal means and using it for saying that I'm using it for the seva activity still doesn't render the what has been got as legal at that in that framework. So again, I would say that it is that quality of that seva that it is done from the Brahmin story, and secondly, in the context of how everything has to be pure in nature to ultimately have that impact. But I'll stop here, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Sathya. Anyone else would like to?
Sai Ram.
Yes, uncle, please go ahead.
I'm just thinking about Saint Ramadasa, who took the money from the king and used it for building a temple for Rama. It was a very small temple, but he paid for it by going to jail for many, many years. So finally Rama had to come and rescue him. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Uncle. The uncle is talking about Bhadrachala Ramadasa, who was jailed for 12 years or something like that. So, anyone else would like to?
Can you please tell the story a little bit, please? Briefly even. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Okay, anyone who would volunteer to tell the story of Bhadrachala Ramadas and his imprisonment? Okay, no one is volunteering. One, yes, Sai Ram says this.
Sai Ramana, and you can correct me if I'm.
I think you people. Swami has done a drama also on that, I guess. But
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, so Ramadas, he happens to be, I think, a Tahsildar in that place, and he is the one who collects all the taxes and so on. So he has collected the taxes that goes as revenue to the king, but what he does is, using that revenue, he builds the temple for Lord Rama, and then the Tanisha of that, basically the king, the Mughal ruler. So he gets wind of this, that this revenue has been used for building a temple and not sent as the tax collected to the king. And so he has Ramadas imprisoned, and then and even as he's there in the prison, and then I think cries out to Lord Rama. I don't know how this thing happens, but essentially what happens is Lord Rama and Lakshmana come there to the Tanisha, and they give the bag of gold, or how much over is the revenue that needs to be meted out to the king. They give it to the Tanisha and ask for the release of Ramadas from imprisonment, and that's how he comes out. And then essentially he realizes, or eventually he realizes, that the one who has paid out the taxes to the Tanisha is Lord Rama himself. So,
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. I think, just to add, just to add to what Sai Satish said, this Ramadasa, actually the villagers were wanting a temple also. It's not that it was his personal wish. So one of the things which he did was, anyway, the king has to, meet the needs of the subjects, and he thought it will be again paid back by the villagers, and then that will be given back to the king. So it was a loan taken from the king. That's the way it was sort of in his own mind he had understood. But the king wouldn't have anything to do with it. He said, you should have taken my permission, but you couldn't have done that. Multiple reasons, I guess. And that's why he was imprisoned. And for 12 years he struggled. And the advantage of him being imprisoned was, when he was imprisoned, he composed some of the most heart-melting songs on Rama.
Beautiful songs, yes.
Beautiful songs. So that was the blessing which all of us have gotten. If anyone would like to. Nanu bromani choppave Sitamma talli. He asked Sita Devi to plead for me to Rama. Yeah. And that is one. And then he makes several ornaments for Sita and Rama. So in one of this is Sitammaku Chayisti Chintaku Padakamu Ramachandra. ఆ పథకానికి పట్టే 10,000 వరహాలు. It took 10,000 gold coins to make that ornament for Sita. And now she is wearing it, and now I made a beautiful ornament for you also, and you are wearing it, and then you just show off. He says, I mean, that kind of compositions which they feel they are so close to the Bhagawan, that love for Bhagawan is expressed in
in many ways. Sai Ram.
Yeah, so there are very many compositions by Sri Ramadasa. He is one of the greatest devotees.
Great.
And he also was an inspiration for even Saint Tyagaraja and others as a devotee.
Brother, I'm trying to understand then from his point of view, he built the temple. What is that kind of dharma you see on his point of view? He's thinking, anyways, the villagers need a temple. It's like something owing only. He's thinking in his mind. But is something, is it that dharma for him to, that's the reason went to the jail because he didn't go according to Dharma. That's why he was experiencing that jail term. I'm just thinking because of as a person he's collecting, he has to give the money to the king. Okay, so the imprisonment is against to the code of conduct or the work ethic or something like that we can consider. Even though he built the temple?
You could consider, but I think some people are willing to sacrifice that also for the benefit of the world. That's also sacrifice.
Which way you are thinking as a sacrifice, brother?
Yeah, he was, I'm sure he would have thought that, the king may punish him. But he was willing to even accept the punishment.
Oh, go through that by doing it.
He went through the punishment also.
Okay, so for the good cause.
Good cause.
For the good cause, he's
you
taking
have to
that.
sacrifice anything.
Oh, okay, in that sense, okay.
Yes. So it is sometimes for example, I think this may have been his thinking because it was a Muslim king. They were not looking after the temples, which was their duty. It was a duty of a king. So he may have thought because of that the subjects are suffering. So did he take matters into hand? Maybe to some extent he took matters into his own hand.
Yes.
But I don't think his intention was to cheat the king or fool the king. I think that's the understanding. And I'm sure he would have said, "Oh Lord, I offer everything to you, even my..." Okay, so...
Sai Ram.
Yes, uncle, please go ahead.
Actually, Ramadasa found the statue of Rama in some place where nobody was looking after that idol. So he couldn't bear it. That's why he thought I should build a temple for Rama.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
so it makes sense. Thank you, Sai Ram.
We should move now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yes.
So I think so. It also means, I think another point which I wanted to mention was Swami has said, when you have Aishwaryam, there should be Audaryam.
Yeah.
Audaryam means, in Tamil we will say Udaritanam. Udaritanam is considered a bad thing in Tamil, but the thing is, Udara Kuna. Udara means one who looks out for the welfare of the world.
Generosity.
So people who are generous, who thinks the entire world is their own family, they will treat the wealth which they have as belonging to the entire world. That is Audaryam. Udara Chittanam Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it said. They think the entire world is their family. That is the type of generosity. So I think that's what matters. I think to comment on Stefani's question, if we have taken money through unlawful means or immoral means, if we cannot really make do with any, even if we do charity, we may never be able to match or remove the suffering which we may have caused among people who have harmed by that. That's the reality. I think so. Maybe there is something good comes out of it because they gave away. Maybe not with the right intentions. But I think that's all it is. But I think what Swami is talking here is people who are interested in the love of God. So people who want to get the grace of God should be also careful when they collect, when they earn money also, they should be very careful. So I will say, and I think Sai Chand's question was, which was not yet been answered. How do we know that it's more than what we need? Because we always feel we need more money. If anyone would like to comment on that, how do we know what is more than what we need?
Sai Ram, brother, I would like to answer that question, or maybe in that perspective.
Yes.
Normally, if it is maybe even a charitable entity or non-profit entity, they will budget ahead what their the operational needs, how much money they would like to have for that year, and also some sort of allocation for the capital, for the maybe some sort of capital investment. It could be a building or whatever it is. But if, say for an example, 1 or 2 years you can have a little more, and you can collect from your whatever the funding, the avenue, or from different sources or resources. But if it is exceeded every single year, if you have more than what you really need, there is an underlying, the underlying purpose behind that one. That could be, it could be for a personal benefit, or for a, some other benefit, so even in charitable or, the non-profit entities policy, and for the entire Canada, or maybe even the North American countries, they put some sort of things that you shouldn't exceed more than 10% or 15% of your operational needs for an year. If you do that, if you accumulate as a reserve or surplus, then that means that you are doing something else. So you are not, you are not you are violating the rules, and your privilege to be a tax exempt entity would be taken away from you. So that means that even whatever they have put it here, I really appreciated that you can have a little bit of buffer, but you don't really need to get it from the people for more than what you really needed. If you take little by little from those people, the people, they would be suffering without having enough money for their household expenses. I believe that is kind of violating the moral value of a of a in perspective of a charitable organization, or the non-profit organization. Just I wanted to share that, Brother Aruno, when he asked that question, whether we really need, to maintain some sort of, the money more than what it's really needed, I believe, we shouldn't do that. That means that we are violating the rules, and we are harming for those people they are contributing the funds. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. So Saishan, the answer is we should be non-profit organizations or charitable organizations. Each individual should be. Okay, so
I guess uncle, because when I think about the whole process of even just earning money, right? You start by seeking education to land yourself a good job, and it's all now you're just you're brought into life and you're living life, but you desire more education, and you desire more money because you need to make a living, to live in a home, to, I guess, put food in a place to live for your family. So there's all these like worldly things that are required. Now, I feel like the more you have around you, you're just, but through distractions, you just desire more. So like, how did like the king and I guess all the subjects of that village as well live without developing these desires? How is that practiced in today's day and age, I guess? How can that be practiced?
Okay, so I will again open it up if anyone would like to comment on
Yes,
how do we
Sai
know?
Ram.
Yes, Sai Ram.
Yeah, so that's why Swami says you must have ceiling on desires. And he said there are 4 factors that you must have. You have to control. Those are the food, desire for food, money, time, and energy. Swami already talked about that one, right?
Okay,
You cannot have more desires. You have to have a limit for that one.
Okay, thank you very much, sister.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So, no desire for money. That's what sister has said. I think everyone has to evaluate for themselves what their need is. I think it's we cannot have a one single answer for that. I think that's our eternal effort to see our desires don't take possession of us. I think that's all I would say. I will leave it at that. It's very subjective, so we will just leave. And anything excess people have it, they should give away. That's what it's. Okay, I think we can. And if no other thought, maybe we can go to the next slide and read. Yes, Uncle.
Sai Ram. True to his words, 10 months later, Raghu was blessed with a son, dazzling like a diamond. The rites of baptism and naming were performed by the palace priest. He was named Aja. He was very charming babe. He grew into a sprightly boy, eager to learn all the arts and sciences. He became an adept in each of them. His fame as a great scholar and a very accomplished lad spread throughout the land. In course of time, Raghu also felt his father's urge to place on the prince's head the burden of the scepter and himself retire into the forest for the contemplation of God. He too called on the ministers to arrange for the transfer of authority by means of the rite of coronation and to synchronize that rite with the marriage of Aja with a suitable bride. Indumati, the sister of Bhojaraja, the ruler of Magadha, was the bride chosen to be the life partner of Aja. After the installation of Aja on the throne, the royal parents left for their forest hermitage.
Thank you, Uncle. Auntie, shall we read?
Sai Ram. ఆ ఆశీర్వాద ఫలమో అన్నట్లు
as if it was the fruit of the blessings.
10 నెలలు దాటగానే రఘువునకు వజ్రమునంటి కాంతి గల కుమారుడు కలిగెను.
At the end of a 10-month period, Raghu got a son who was shining like diamond.
అతనికి పండిత పురోహితుల సలహాను అనుసరించి
for him, consulting the wise ones and the priests,
జాతకమును అనుసరించి అజుడు అని పేరు పెట్టింది.
and consulting the astrological nature of his birth, he was given the name Aja.
అజుడు అతి సుందరుడు.
Aja was very handsome.
దిన దిన ప్రవర్తమానుడై పెరుగుచొచ్చెను.
Day by day, he grew and blossomed.
అతను విద్యాబుద్ధులు ప్రత్యేక శిక్షణతో నేర్చుచుండెను.
He also became learned and through his various discipline and studies.
అన్ని విద్యలందు చక్కని తరబేతును కంచెను.
He achieved great expertise in all fields of knowledge.
తండ్రి కంటేను మహావిద్యవంతుడు పేరును కంచెను.
He got the name that he was more learned than his own father.
ఈ రీతి గడుచుచుండ రఘు మహారాజు అతని తండ్రి దిలీపుని వలనే.
When this was going on like this, the king Raghu, just like his father King Dilipa,
కౌమారునకు వివాహాది మంగళ కార్యములను జరిపి
arranging marriage etc. for his son,
రాజ్యభారమును అజునకు అందించవలెను సంకల్పముచే,
with the thought that he should leave the rulership of the country to Aja.
మంత్రులను పిలిపించి తగిన ఏర్పాట్లు గావించి,
he called for his ministers and made appropriate arrangements.
విదర్భ దేశాధీశుడైన భోజరాజు సోదరి ఇందుమతిని
he chose the sister of Bhojaraja, who was the king of the country of Vidarbha, by the name Indumati.
తన కుమారుడగు అజునుకు వివాహము చేసి,
and he performed marriage for his son Aja.
రాజ్య బాధ్యతలను అజునుకు అప్పచెప్పి,
the responsibilities of ruling was transferred to Aja.
రాణి సమేతుడై తపస్సునకై అరణ్యముకు కేగెను.
Along with the queen, he went to the forest to perform tapas.
Sai
Ram, thank you. So here is again, so Raghu is also following the footsteps of his father Dilipa and conducting his life, and the way he treated his son also the same way. And he also seems to be taking to Vanaprastha. So I will stop here if anyone would like to discuss any point.
Just an observation. Aja here means Brahma. Brahma is also called Aja, who has no birth. And Tyagaraja tells about Aja is goat also. In one of Kirtanam, Telisi Rama Chintanato, he comes out with this saying, Ajudanuchu Meshamunaku Peru. Whatever you wish for, you will get it. Ajudani Vagishwaranaki Peru. Even Brahma is named as Aja. Vijayamu Kalgunu Tyagarajaniki. You will get all the best things and victories by saying the name of Rama. So just a light just shared with you. The name Aja.
Yes.
So many meanings.
In Telugu, sorry, what was the country? It was
Vidarbha.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Uncle?
Vidarbha.
Oh, I see. So this Magadha that they've put in English translation, is it not?
Really? Oh.
The ruler of Magadha they've put?
Yes.
Vidarbha, the Swami says.
I see, okay.
I think the translation is Magadha. No, I'm not joking.
Vidarbha is Madhya Pradesh, is it?
I am not very familiar, Auntie.
I think so.
I will do some research and we can discuss.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
Time is also.
So maybe on the topic of Aja, maybe I will also say something and we will close for today.
Yeah, close.
There's a story of Daksha. When Daksha performed his the yajna and he did not give respect to Shiva. The story is that the Virabhadra and Kali came and destroyed that And you know, the story of Sathya is also there, Daksha's daughter, who was this married to Shiva. She supposed to have immolated herself with her yoga Agni. And then Shiva is supposed to have sent the Virabhadra and Kali, I guess, to come and destroy. So the story is that his head was cut. And then the head of Aja was placed on his head. So generally, Puranic story is that, you know, he was given the head of a goat, sheep or whatever, you know, that's the way it is said. But we can also look at it as, you know, in Shiva's story, always head gets cut. Ganapati also it happened. So he was given the elephant head. But in this case, Aja head. So we can also ask why did Shiva punish? This is the normal question. But you see, the Aja also principles, Daksha did not have the right head at that time when he ignored Shiva. That head had to be removed and proper head had to be put. So that is the story. So there also Aja means, it has two meanings. One is a goat head, but it also means he was endowed with divine intelligence. That is also head. So, you know, these words have two meanings, and you know how which meaning we want to take also matters.
Brother, how it's symbolized with a goat head?
Aja means, Aja is the name for Brahman, one who is without birth.
Okay.
Who is never born. Unborn is Aja. So that's why Brahma is called Aja. Not only the creator Brahma, Brahman is also called Aja. God is also without birth, no death, no birth. So that means he was given the head of that which is not born. So that means it's divine. Okay, so whenever God does, you know, we talked about Danda last time. God does not punish. Whatever God does, he does for the welfare of the person. So his thinking had to be changed. Emilena burralo, emaina church, Swami will say. If the head is empty, then you can put anything good. So first you have to remove the bad. Then you have to put something good. So the problem with Daksha was, he was very good, he was learned and all that, but it got to his head. That had to be removed for his own benefit and for the benefit of the world. So Aja is there also. So I thought I will just mention about the Aja. So with the goat topic came. So I thought that's interesting. Okay, so we can close for it's 10:18. We'll close and we will meet again next week to continue to discuss. Sai Ram.